Gotham, a crazy podcast about DC, with your hosts E-Rock and PD. When we speak up, get your geeks up, cause you know you about to get geeked up. So sit back, relax, and get comfy. Lose your mind like Solomon Grundy, and listen to a show that won't be forgotten, coming straight out of Gotham.
Everybody out in the DC universe, welcome to Straight Outta Gotham, episode 53. We are a fandom pop culture podcast and a proud member of the Batman Podcast Network, hosted by Batman on Film. Make sure you check out all the other great shows on the network by heading on over to BatmanOnFilm.com. There's a link. You should click it down. I think if you actually check BatmanPodcastNetwork.com too, it'll redirect you there. So check out both BatmanOnFilm.com as well as BatmanPodcasting.com, and you'll find a bunch of just tons of shows for your fanboy needs. I'm your co-host with this side, Hudson River. I'm a senior contributor to Batman on Film. I am Peter R. Vera, and today we're recording on October 19th, 2021. And as always, we have a great show for you today. But before we get into good stuff, I'd like to remind you, all of our faithful listeners, if you take the time to rate and review this show, Straight Outta Gotham, on Apple iTunes and on Apple Podcasts, we will possibly read your review. And if we do, we will send you a prize back. The prize for the grand prize for the month of October is a McFarlane Joker action figure from Batman 66. So get on that. You don't want to miss it. Now, let me introduce my partner in crime, the man who is the pumpkin carving champ of Deer Park, Long Island, a fellow Batman on Film contributor. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Holzman.
Good evening.
What's going on, Jack?
What's going on, man? How are you? Just carving out my last couple pumpkins. Just, got like
still recovering the FanDome.
Yes. We'll touch on that a little bit later. We'll do a little bit of a.
I enjoyed it. I had a blast.
Of a post game. Since we did a live stream after, we could do a post just me and you this time. But yes, really quickly to everybody who watched on Saturday after we did watch the Iceberg Lounge after we did our after the FanDome. We want to thank you all for watching. We also want to thank, of course, our great panel, obviously Bill Ramey, his son Micah Ramey. We had Ryan Lauer and Ryan Haas joining us in the Iceberg Lounge. It was an awesome time, a lot of fun. Apologize for the technical difficulties in the beginning. Funny thing, guys, that show, I thought it just stopped and I still had the show, and I'd be able to save it. It was completely gone. Gone, nowhere to be found. Yeah, man. So I apologize for that, but we were able to hop back up real quick and get you guys that content. And thank you all again for watching and supporting us and all of that good stuff. So Pete, real quick, what else is going on, man? What if
nothing? I just used my my Manscaped ball toner right now. You didn't even know, so it's discreet. You can use it whenever you want. Don't forget 20% off and free shipping. Manscaped.com, promo code Gotham. Make sure you do that, and you can use it anywhere. Literally, I just used it live on the show. Eric had no idea, so.
Yeah, guys, and we actually you guys don't see this, but we actually have video of each other. So I literally, thank God, had no idea.
Just used it.
What Pete was doing.
It's in my hand. It's right here. I got it.
Yeah, crazy. But I have to say,
right out of my beautiful little
the shed. It's called the shed. They call it the shed.
The shed. The shed.
A little bit.
Okay.
But I have to say, man, that toner is probably my favorite thing of everything in the bag that they sent us.
I might start using it as cologne. I might actually spray it on my neck.
It's such a refreshing feeling.
It's cool. I wish I had this in the dog days of summer, because it'd be great in August. So
seriously, guys, if you guys do not know what we're talking about, head on over to manscaped.com. Check out all of their products. And as Pete said, right now, you get 20% off and free shipping if you use our code Gotham at manscaped.com. So go over there, check out all the products. If you guys want to ask us questions, you can hit us up on our socials. You always give them to you at the end. If you have any specific questions about the products, the stuff that we got the Lawnmower 4.0, which is their new shaver for Down Under. And I have to say that's been a pretty nice experience as well. I
like the headlight. It guides the way.
Yes. Haven't nicked myself yet. I guess that's I guess that's a good thing. So yeah, it's been a really, really cool experience. They've been great. Obviously, like I said, they set us up with all this stuff. We got to try it out first, and we definitely recommend their products. I know there are some of you who already have Manscaped products. Well, you can go back. You don't have to be a new customer. You can add an extra 20% off to your current orders by using the code Gotham as well. So definitely want you guys to go over and check that out. And again, to thank Manscaped for setting up this great partnership that's been great for us. It's been really, really cool.
Products so good you can use them in front of people and they won't even know.
Yes, very discreet. The bottles are very small, so they are very
spritz. Yes,
you can do it very fast and no one will know. But yeah,
this podcast is living proof.
Actually, yes. So don't keep using your face. I mean, it's kind of gross if you're using your face trimmer on your balls. I'm just being honest. So you might want to, try and get a different razor to handle that business. And Manscaped has that for you. Like I said, with their all new Lawnmower 4.0. So go ahead and check that out. So Pete, let's talk about a little bit. We've been doing a little sports stuff, and something happened today that I know you are very, very excited about. So go ahead. so as you guys know, if you listen to us, Pete and I are both New York Yankees fans. I'm probably the more level-headed one. Pete's a little bit more crazy than me.
Why? What makes me not level-headed? Have you checked Twitter? I'm not the only person unhappy about this.
Oh, no. You're right.
Like,
yes,
I might be the original. I was, I should be the first to hashtag not my manager, but
yes,
definitely, so therefore I think I'm justified. I might be the level-headed one here.
Maybe.
Ashman, on the other hand, he might need a therapist.
Of course, guys, if you don't know what we're talking about the Yankees have extended manager Aaron Boone for at least 3 years with a team option for a 4th year today.
He's getting 4. He'll get 4.
If Cashman's here, he'll be here. That's how I look at it. They're kind of a package deal at this point. So I'm not as hard on Aaron Boone because to me, he's just a puppet and he just does what he's told. I know they say that I've heard people say that
he still does dumb things.
He has more say in things.
Dumb things.
I mean, I don't know. I have obviously some of his decisions at times I shake my head, but I do that with every manager. I don't think any manager is perfect. I also just don't think he's a good coach. I just think the team is just poorly run. That's a fair point. He may not have control over what he's supposed to do. He's definitely told what to do, right. But he's definitely not a coach because his team is around. I agree with that in the sense that they were very uncharacteristically sloppy this year in a lot of aspects. Base running, fielding. Yeah. They look like a bad baseball team often. Yeah. Yeah. When they were good, they were really good. But when they were bad, they were really bad. There was like no middle ground for them this year. They were either very good or very bad. They needed Ron Washington. Yeah. You brought him up the other day. He texted me that. So I hope for the best. Obviously, in my head, he's still a new manager, so I'm kind of hoping he maybe can. It's new. Okay. I'm kind of hoping he's still maybe getting rid of the coaches because they pretty much clean house with the coaches. Yeah. So maybe that'll change things. So I don't know, but yeah, it's a little bit of a sports thing with with Pete and me, just to touch on that for really quickly for today, because it literally happened this morning, and it was the first thing I got this morning was a text from Pete. I literally woke up, I look up like, okay, didn't need anyone else to tell me that. So it was awesome. On a more positive note, local hockey teams have been really playing well. The Islanders and Devils both won today, correct? Well, the Islanders are up 4-0 with 8 minutes left in the third. Right. In Chicago, sorry, Caruso's and Zeddy. Oh, the Devils beat them on opening night. That's there you go. So Devils are 2-0, and so the Isles probably. Is this their first game? Is this opening night for the Isles? No. They actually lost their first 2 games, so this will be their first win if they hang on. They lost their first 2 games pretty badly, too. We didn't have football this week because, I didn't. The Jets were off for me, but the Giants played and they're not a football team either, so it doesn't matter. We didn't really have as long as they lose. Yes. But that was just a quick recap, guys, of the sporting stuff that we often like to talk about. Give you a little bit more than what we're known for, I guess. That could be one of our taglines. give you more than what we know for.
Sure.
We'll give you that. So Pete, we hit on fandom a little bit. Just another really quick recap. You can give yours since we did that live stream. You could just give your really quick recap here.
No, I had a lot of fun. Obviously, the Batman and the Flash were the big things. I enjoyed the panel with Supergirl as they talked about their final season and saying goodbye to each other. Grant Gustin announced his Flash will have gold boots. That's exciting. We'll get another season of Titans. We got some Batgirl concept art. A lot of energy coming out of the Blue Beetle movie. Those guys seem really pumped to make that. Really excited. Milestone with a huge event, and they're going to come up with a gigantic Milestone animated movie focusing on all those characters. That's exciting. What else is there? Got to see some Black Adam. That was really good. I was pumped for that. I enjoyed the updates with Iris. I enjoyed the tour of the Kent House. There's not much I didn't enjoy. Shazam 2. I'm looking forward to that. Which is just funny because I'll see it next year at FanDome as well. The 3-time champ. So just really pumped for everything. But the Batman is coming here. It's on its way. It's 5 months away, right? I'm pumped. Hearing Keaton brought tears to my eyes. I couldn't be happier. This was a great FanDome. I know some people aren't excited, but I got nothing to complain about. I got an Xbox Series X. I got a PlayStation 5. I'm sorry I didn't get the new Nintendo, but I got enough.
I agree with you. I was very, very happy with what we got. I was happy they didn't shoot for the moon, because a lot of times when you do that, with them in the past, they've disappointed us when they've done stuff like that. So I was happy they just kept it contained to what we know was coming, and tease things or confirm things that we had heard, right? Like you mentioned the Milestone stuff with the Static Shock movie. Well, they confirmed it here. They said
Michael B. Jordan's involved. Yep.
So like things like that were just cool to hear. It was just a very, very cool event and foamless. Like this last year, I thought it was a little jumpy at times, but this one was very seamless, much better. I thought they improved upon the model. So I really, really enjoyed it. Yes, there were things I went in wanting, hoping to hear about. There were things I had heard.
Big on that Red Hood show, right?
Yes, there were things I had heard that was going to happen, and it still might happen. I just didn't get an announcement. We just didn't get the announcement, so I don't know about what's going to go on there, but it was cool to hear that. You mentioned Titans getting renewed. Doom Patrol also got an announcement for being renewed. So
that's great too. I love that show. Yeah,
that was cool as well. And of course, all the Batman stuff. I mean, not just the Batman. We had Keaton. It was very, very cool. The Super Pets thing was cool. I liked that as well. It was very, very
Bat Wheels. I don't know what I'm more pumped for, Bat Wheels or Super Pets. That sounds like fun. They both do sound like fun.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a good event, and I do understand some people having expectations, but I think we're learning now to just leave your expectations at the door. I think just go in, clear mind, and just enjoy what we have. Because this is from what we saw, again, from the Black Adam clip, a little bit about Aquaman, all the stuff we saw about the films that are coming, that we know are coming, was fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. To quote the great DMX, "Stop being greedy."
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Yep.
Rest in peace for DMX. So we just wanted to give a really quick recap. I'm going to be I'm probably going to be ripping the audio from our show and putting that out as well as an extra little pod from us. So you can, if you missed the actual the live stream, but you want to hear what we talked about, at least you can get that. We didn't post any pictures or anything, so it was just us talking. So it's just as good if we get
just
the
a bunch of floating heads.
Yes, it was just great. And it was kind of, like I said, it was kind of like an anniversary for us because that was the first Iceberg Lounge we did, was last year's FanDome. And then, so it was cool to record again, different cast of characters, but it was still a lot of fun.
It wasn't in October last year, was it?
It was in August and then in September. They split it up into two dates. It was supposed to be back the same weekend, but they split it up August and September.
Okay.
So yeah. So the best thing about it is it's pretty much going to be an annual thing, I'm sure. So
I hope so.
Right. So let's just keep on going.
I'd be more disappointed if they didn't do it.
I know. I agree with you. But so you brought up Supergirl. So In our rundown, there's more Super Bowl news. Listen to me. Supergirl news, sorry.
Wow, you got football. Are you a Cowboys fan? You got football in the brain.
Let's not talk about that. We're good. I'll talk about. I've talked about that with Bill and a couple other people this weekend. So.
What, you becoming a Cowboys fan?
No. Just about them because they won in pretty dramatic fashion and
against New England.
Yes.
So wait, you're down on the Cowboys?
No, I didn't say I was down on the Cowboys. I said I thought they should have won the game like an hour before they did. It never should have gone to overtime.
Well, it's because Belichick's the GOAT.
It had nothing to do with Belichick.
He makes dramatic losses, bro.
But it had nothing to do with him this time. They just were sloppy. And I think that's more on the coach than on the players, but that's a different topic for a different time.
The Jets wanted him.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
The Jet fans.
Yes, but Jet fans are stupid. We know this. So, and I could say that because I'm one of them. So,
because I root for them yearly.
I'm one of those, so I could honestly say that with a straight face. But back to Supergirl, which is where I was going before I said Super Bowl. Sorry. You mentioned they had their panel on FanDome talking about their final season and their favorite moments and all that stuff. Well, Melissa Benoist, to play Supergirl, was on with Jimmy Kimmel on Jimmy Kimmel Live, and he asked her what you're going to miss. Like, what is something you're going to miss? And she says, the flying. Now, I would think that would be something you wasn't going to miss. She said the flying. I don't think that's something you would miss.
I don't know. Like, you see the way, like, in the behind the scenes stuff, Routh and Cavill and everybody, how they're all strapped up to like this harness. That's probably true. Doesn't feel good, That's
a good point.
There's always a bunch of people in like green leotards moving you around. So I kind of get it. It's just funny that Supergirl hates flying.
Well, the funny thing is he asked her about like, has the equipment improved? And she was like, no, it's pretty much the same that Christopher Reeves used way back in the day. So I was like,
now you know why Snyder used CGI all the time.
Yeah, right? Like, oh man, I wonder if it's the same artist from those films. That would be terrible.
Well, Cavill he did a screen test in Christopher Reeve's suit, and
that's true.
Recently found out that Pattinson screen tested in Kilmer's suit, so they got a bunch of old stuff lying around.
Yeah, I mean they definitely have all that stuff. So
it's Warner Brothers for crying out loud. I wonder if Mr. Welling, when he did his little flying scene, I wonder what he was strapped into.
Yeah. He only did that one scene at the end of the show.
I guess Dean Cain did a lot more flying.
Yeah.
But we don't like to talk about him. He's kind of crazy.
I don't remember that. It's weird. As much as I love Superman, I wasn't really a fan of that show when it was on.
I mean, I was so young. That came out like 96, dude. I was prime. That's Dean Cain was my Superman growing up.
Yeah.
And we all know the infamous stuntman story. Rick Shue wasn't allowed to go see children after the stunt show in his Superman suit because of Dean Cain. It's not a BOF sponsored podcast or live stream unless you mention Rick Shue and Superman once. So we got to get that out of the way. So just great segue there. Way to go. Shout out to Ricky Joe.
Segue, you just took the ball and ran with that one. I didn't even know where you were going with it, but it's fine. It's great. Man. But another thing Kimmel asked her is if she got to keep anything, and she says she's not at liberty to say. So
they better have given her both suits. She's worn 3 suits. She's got the traditional suit with the skirt. She's got her Kryptonian protective suit, and she's got her suit with the pants. She should get one of each, at least. I
agree. She should.
And some farewell donuts. I believe Miss Melissa Benoist is a donut fiend. So she should pay for her Dunkin' Donuts bill for at least like 15 years. At least.
Well, as you know, I am not a fan of the show. As everyone who listens to us knows, I'm not a fan of Supergirl, but I know you are, Pete, so...
Love it. I've loved it since it was on CBS.
So I am sorry to see it go because...
I am sorry to see it go. For a while, it was for a good solid 5 years. It was the only super we had.
Yeah.
For a long time, and especially on television, and it was good to get that Kryptonian DNA back on the small screen, and I'm just very appreciative. Sometimes they did things that I didn't like. I didn't like Jimmy Olsen as the Guardian. I thought that was weird. I'm a Jim Harper fan, but what doesn't take their liberties nowadays, and just it always comes back to MCU Spider-Man. So that is what it is. But I'm gonna miss it. It was great. It was great to see Jimmy Olsen. I can't remember the guy's actual name, but he came back. He told everyone
Todd Brooks, right?
Yes, he is. He's missed everyone since he hasn't been a series regular for a season, and it's kind of hard. It's been a little hard for him, and he's like, you guys are going to feel that really soon too. But everything and everybody that over the last 6 years, you're not going to see on a daily basis, and it's kind of like a bittersweet goodbye. On to bigger and better things. Obviously, Mr. Brooks he's Jax now, and Mortal Kombat's ahead, so I'm sure he'll be in the sequel. So I'm sure he's doing a bunch of other projects as well as everybody else, and. David Harwood is now directing his first feature film, The Martian Manhunter. And actually, it's funny when going back to FanDome, I love how he said that he wasn't cast as Martian Manhunter and it just evolved into the show. And I'm like, that doesn't happen with anybody. It's always some weird retcon that never makes sense. But
yeah, that seems to be a thing for. It seems to be a thing for them. Yeah, it's kind of funny actually.
Yeah,
but no. And if not for that show, maybe we never get Tyler Hoechlin, and maybe we never get Superman and Lois. So.
Probably not. I mean, that was kind of the introduction. That was the way they were. They were able to kind of backdoor it and get a Superman on TV, and Mr. Hoechlin eventually evolved into what we now consider one of the finer superheroes television shows on television.
Yes. So if anything, from my point of view, thank you for that, Supergirl. I will definitely say that. So
sounds like you got some catching up to do, my friend.
No, I'm good. I'm fine. Moving right along to another CW show. One that I do enjoy, but I haven't really watched this year, so I apologize for that. But no, it is not Batwoman. Of course, I am talking about Stargirl, which might be the best CW show right now that's out there. So Joel McHale, as we know, was played her... Well, who she thought was her father, right? And he's come back this year. I don't know what's going on, so you might have to fill it everyone here. But
I'm not going to fill them in. They've got to watch the show. That's spoilerific. Come on,
that's a good point. I apologize.
Don't do that.
But he's going to be a series regular in season 3.
Yeah.
So
the JSA has had a way more prominent role this season than last. We've seen a lot more Starman, a lot more of of the originals, Hourman, The Flash. We've gotten some Green Lantern teases. Got a whole lot of Wildcat, and it's been great. And it's Eclipso has been a very, very interesting villain. And I'm excited to see where it goes forward. I'm about one episode behind. Last episode, it was cool seeing the whole JSA together, and Starman was obviously there, and they're facing some big decisions. So it's good. I enjoy Starman.
So can I ask a question? And you could tell me. You could just say you can't tell me if it's spoilerish or not. The staff. Who has the staff?
Stargirl.
Okay. Just want to ask. That's all.
Yeah.
All right. Because he had it first, so just
right. Well, like that, like his sidekick Stripesy is her stepdad. That's obviously that.
Yes, I know that.
So that's how she gets the staff.
Right, but I was just asking if in this season, since he's been back, I know.
But they've shown him back in like flashbacks.
Okay,
so he had it's staff appropriate.
Okay,
like
all right.
If flashback he has it, Commander Day she has it. I don't know if anything's changed in the one episode I haven't seen yet. But hey Leia.
Yeah, that guys, if you hear snoring, that's my dog. I apologize. Nothing I do about it. She won't leave my side, so. Oh, wow. She's real loud. Anyway, moving right along. In more DC news, I will stick with the DCs, and it's another female, of course. As we know, Leslie Grace will be playing Batgirl.
I don't think Nico's excited enough.
And we have another casting announcement that Jacob Scipio, I think that's how you say his name, who was in Bad Boys for Life, will be joining the cast of Batgirl. There's not really much said more than that he's from Bad Boys for Life, and it has the same directors with Adil El-Arbi and Bilal Fallah. So there's a connection there. So we don't really know who he's playing, but it's good to see another cast member put out there. So Pete, if you had to guess.
I don't have a guess because I have no idea, but I got a total fanboy theory.
Okay.
If it were me, and if I were writing the script, which thankfully I'm not, which means it'll be a success, I would write him as James Gordon Jr., and I'd have him go on a killing spree, and I'd have Barbara try to track down her brother with her father and make for an interesting dynamic. Jim eventually, by half the movie, figures out Babs is Batgirl, but he keeps his mouth shut and just let her do her business because he believes in his strong, independent daughter, and Barbara's trying to hide it from her father the whole time. And that's what I would do. I would kind of make it like some kind of crazy family angle. This way I get a lot more J.K. Simmons than I think is actually going to be in the movie.
Yeah, that's one angle to put out there for him.
But I have no idea. And actually, they just recently did that in the comics run. That's how they ended the last couple issues of Batgirl. Just Jim Gordon Jr. and Babs and their father. So it's fresh in my memory, and I enjoyed it a lot. So that's why I bring it up.
Do you think he could maybe be playing Tim Drake?
Why would he play Tim Drake?
No.
I would maybe Dick Grayson. That's more of a Babs love interest. I don't think it would be Drake. I think it'd be Grayson. If he was cast as a guy, if he's cast as a love interest for Barbara Gordon, it's Grayson. Grayson's the guy.
Yeah, I was thinking
Rob Myers is rolling over in his grave right now. You just got Robin's confused. I just killed Rob. He's not in his grave. He's probably in his toy room. It's Halloween.
Well, no, in the Arkham games, though, isn't that Drake who they put with her? I think it is. In the Arkham games.
I don't remember. Were they were dating in the Arkham games?
I think so. I think they had that.
Oh, man.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So, but I know traditionally, yes, it would be Dick Grayson, but I don't think they would put him in this kind of a film.
I'm going to the group chat right now.
So,
and we're going to get the answer.
Yeah, you could ask. You could ask in the group. They would probably know. And it's weird I bring that up on the 10th anniversary of that game?
That was like yesterday, right?
Yeah, I think it was yesterday, yeah. So right. 10th anniversary of Arkham City.
I just text the group. Let's see how fast.
Yeah, I'm probably wrong. You're probably right. That's how it usually works.
I don't even remember.
That's how it usually works out.
Drake was the Robin in that game, but
yes, he was.
Bruce Timm had Babs.
Yes, I know traditionally. Yes, that's been the case, but it was just in the back of my mind because of the Arkham game, so that's why I brought that up.
All right,
but again, I could be wrong. I totally could be wrong. I have no idea.
Now I want to know who's dating who in Gotham Knights.
And that was DLC content too, so I don't know. If I remember correctly, it was downloadable content. So I have to. Right. I think her mission was anyway. So again, I'm forgetting, but yeah,
I enjoyed that mission.
Oh, I enjoyed that. A lot of people don't like the last one. I do. Arkham Knight. I like Arkham Knight. So
there isn't an Arkham game they made. There isn't a Batman game made since like that one for GameCube. Oh man, like it's the horrible one. I forget what it's called, like Dark Shadows or something. I don't know. It's that's like the worst. Apparently, it's like once you can figure out the controls, it's not a bad game. But that's probably the last bad Batman game I played.
Yeah, I've loved all those games. I don't understand people who have issues with it. I know the Batmobile could be a little tough.
No, it's a blast. You can't.
It's fun, yeah.
And you get to pick certain ones.
I know.
It's great.
That's true. Yeah, I had so much fun with the skins in that game. Changing all the skins from all the different Batmen. They had Keaton. They had all the. It
might be
ones.
Dark Tomorrow.
So, yeah. All right, we'll get the Pete will definitely tell us what they said because I'm probably wrong. But
yes, it is Dark Tomorrow. I don't know. Haas hasn't answered yet.
Okay,
so he's probably too busy making like some kind of like pumpkin flavored Rice Krispie treat with like soy milk and marshmallow substitute
and flaxseed. Definitely have the flaxseed.
Yeah, flaxseed. Gotta get that flaxseed oil. That's what Barry Bonds used in 2001. He was injecting himself with flaxseed oil.
Funny. So Hans Zimmer made a little bit of news this week talking about scores. There was an article on IGN. It was actually today, so it's a relevant article, that Hans Zimmer was asked about his favorite Batman score, and he said that it was Elliot Goldenthal's work on Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. I think most people would have assumed Elfman, right?
I'm going to say that this is because Danny Elfman, while he was doing the score for Justice League, said Batman's only had one theme. So I think this is Hans has been waiting to take the shot for a while, and he came out blazing. And look, hey, I love Goldenthal's score.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's fantastic. I don't like, when was the last bad Batman score? I mean, between Elfman, Shirley Walker, Goldenthal, Zimmer, James Howard Newton, whatever his name is, and now the great Michael Giacchino. Like, bring it on. Musically, it's a wonderful, and throw in some Junkie XL there as well. Sure, like, okay,
yeah.
But I think Hans is saving this in the back pocket for a while.
I feel like all the scores have done the films they're in justice. Like, I feel like they fit perfectly.
I remember reading while Zimmer was doing BVS saying he had a hard time doing it because he felt like he was cheating on Bale's Batman and stuff like that. Like, it was weird to do a different score for the same character, even though it's a different movie. He said it kind of took him a while to adjust, because he's like, oh, I did my Batman theme. Now I have to do a new Batman theme for a new character. It's, so it was kind of an adjustment period, but
yeah. It's cool.
I'd love to get them all together and talk about it, though. It'd be great.
That would be cool. That would be very, very cool if we could ever get one of these guys on to talk about the scores. That'd be awesome. But he had a lot of nice things to say about Goldenthal in the article.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you want to check that out, it's on IGN. Just look up for Hans Zimmer checking out this. Talking.
It's on our Facebook page. Check it out.
Yes, it's on our Facebook page. So one of the quotes that was cool, he said, "It's nice when you can actually say somebody did something that you are immediately incredibly familiar with, and they've just done it so much better than you could ever do it, and you just can be inspired and rejoiced." Which is, when you think about the person saying this, that's a pretty damn good compliment.
I'll say this, that Mr. Goldenthal's score does inspire me. Like, I get pumped up when I hear it.
Yeah, like I said, all of the scores from those films fit the movies that they're in. So,
what's your favorite? We know Hans's favorite. What's your favorite Batman score
from all the films, or just?
Yeah, from the live action films. What's your favorite Batman score?
I know it's cliche, but it's probably Elfman. Yeah, I'd have to say.
I agree with you. It is. It is the Batman theme. It's great, and to hear Elfman's notes in that Flash trailer that we just heard, that resonated, and
yes,
brought back a lot of great memories. And I'll always love Descent into Mystery. That'll always be like my favorite thing all time musically.
Like, for me, it would be the Star Wars stuff, but obviously the Batman stuff is also great.
Yeah. It's all good.
But that theme, the Batman theme, obviously the famous one that everyone knows, the Elfman theme. But every time I get into the car, if I drive fast, I'm like humming it in my head. Very weird.
If I put like Descent into Mystery on, or if I put in whatever the Batfleck theme is for when he's driving around the shipyard, like I definitely drive faster.
It's
like, I definitely have noticed it.
Yeah, like I just connect to the movie, and then it takes me there, and I'm like, oh damn, I'm driving. I'm not driving a Batmobile. I'm just driving a normal car. I need to slow down. There's rules. But yeah, so my car's a little red Chevy Cobalt, so I call it the Redbird. It looks like a Redbird. Oh, the Redbird, yeah.
I know in Batman and Robin, Grayson had a motorcycle, but traditionally the Redbird is an actual red car. So
that's cool.
Well, an interesting version of a red car. I'd say a Wayne Tech version of a red car.
I like that. I think that's cool. I like that idea. So we're talking about Zimmer. Let's talk about the guy who directed the Batman film that Zimmer scores for.
We are Segway Fest today.
Yes, segues are just built into this show. Of course, I'm talking about Christopher Nolan. And Nolan is one of those directors who casts actors that he's comfortable with, right? If you think about Bale, you think about Tom Hardy. Who else am I missing? Marion
Michael
Cotillard. Yes, Michael Caine. Like all of these actors he works with, he usually picks familiar faces that he's used to. And he picked another one for a movie coming out. His next movie that's coming out in 2023 called Oppenheimer. He cast Cillian Murphy. Now, Cillian Murphy was also not only a Scarecrow, but he was also in Inception. He's been in other films of Nolan. And I think that you see that a lot with directors who are very, very good or are at the top of their game. Scorsese does it a lot, obviously, with DiCaprio, and
Tim Burton does it with Johnny Depp.
Yeah, like you have these guys who these great directors who are just comfortable directing certain people, and they make
everyone's got their guys.
Yeah,
I got a guy.
Yeah, pretty much. So that was a pretty cool piece of news because I didn't even know he honestly was working on another film. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's a Paramount is a Paramount movie, right? Is that what it is?
Well, that's where he went to, right? So it's Universal.
Okay, Universal.
It's Universal Theaters, Pictures.
Cool. I mean, it's like, oh, this sounds interesting. This whole Oppenheimer, nuclear, all this other stuff. Like, oh wow,
right.
Okay. And I'm sure it'll be extra heavy and dramatic the way Nolan loves it, and it'll be a lot of pressing themes and a lot of guilt. So we'll see what it is, and I'm excited. I get excited every time Nolan makes a film, and
I just like that. I feel like this movie is not going to be one where he's trying to outsmart everyone. Because it's about somebody.
He sees it, and the first thing out of his mouth is, he tried to outsmart us again.
I know.
It's like Dunkirk, Tenet, and Interstellar all over again.
Yo, no, Tenet, man. I still haven't watched the second time because I need to, because I still don't know if I...
Truth be told, I haven't watched Tenet yet. I gotta catch up on Tenet.
I mean,
and everyone's like, you can watch it backwards. And other people's like, I don't know what I've seen. And I'm just like, Nolan.
It is the most Nolan movie yet.
Oh, Nolan be Nolan, baby.
Yes, it's very,
I hope Nolan gets inspired by the Batman and how realistic it is and comes back for something else. Like, I want Nolan's uber realistic take on, like, I don't know, Captain Adam.
Maybe he'll do Nightwing.
No, I don't want that. No, nothing Batman related. He shot his load on Batman. So give me something else. Come on, give me something. Nolan.
Well, the Bond seat is open.
Oh, baby.
It's been rumored
Nolan
in the past.
Cavill for Bond. Let's get it going, baby. Nolan and Cavill.
It's been rumored in the past. It's been rumored to happen.
I'll take it. Let's go.
So I wonder if he would get in with a franchise again, though. I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe he's got one. Maybe he's just got one Bond story to tell. Just do it.
Yeah,
Nolan.
Well, I'm really interested in this movie now that I know what it's about and that it's coming out. It's about the Manhattan Project, and I mean,
then we're obviously it's a nod to Watchmen, so we're going to get Dr. Manhattan. So connects to Zack Snyder, so that the whole other fan base, everyone's excited. Hashtags everywhere.
And because Nolan and Snyder worked on Man of Steel, we're going to get Cavill back as Superman. It's all
just like when the director of Batgirl took that picture, put it on Instagram of him looking at the cowl that confirmed Batfleck in the movie. It's just like that. Connect the dots, everybody. We just got FanDome. We're getting more.
Seriously, it's all there in front of you guys. Just need to peel the layers of the onion. It's all there. Everything is there.
DC are like ogres. Ogres are like onions. They have layers. How can you guys not see this? This is the plan.
Oh boy. We're gonna get a lot of comments on this one. Bring it on.
You just took shots like 18 different. I was like, yeah. Like Tommy gun.
Yeah, we rolled through a bunch of things right there. Definitely did. We did like a drive-by right there. A bunch of different topics. Oh God. All right. Moving right along. We're gonna switch gears now. We're gonna switch from DC and a DC director. We're gonna switch it now to a little bit of Marvel stuff. First, of course, talking about the announcement that there is going to be a spinoff of Catherine Hahn's character from WandaVision at Disney Plus. She, of course, she famously played Agatha Harkness, and she was great in her part. Something I totally did not see coming, I have to say, in the show. There was a lot of that in WandaVision, but Yeah, Catherine Hahn is going to be getting her own spinoff show. I don't know how they're going to do it. It might be a preview where they show her more of her dealing when she was with a witch, with the Salem witch trials and things like that. I don't know.
I want a modern day spinoff, and I want her punishment to take care of Franklin Richards. Like, that's what I want. I want the MCU to just go so comic booky. Let's just do it. Set this up. Like, I don't care if it happens before or after Fantastic Four at this point. Just give it to me. That's what I want. I want Agatha to be Franklin Richards' nanny, and that's all I care about. But no, she was great in WandaVision because that's what she was.
Yeah.
So she's great in WandaVision. She stole the show. I was rooting for her in the end. I'm pissed off that Wanda got away scot-free and Agatha got in trouble because I was all about Agatha. And dude, you have no idea how often I want to call her like Aunt Agatha or Aunt Agatha from Bewitched. Like, I don't know what's right or wrong anymore. I get the two witches confused.
Right.
But no, she was great. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man, I'm a huge fan of hers. She's great in everything. So I'm glad that they're doing this. They're giving her a spinoff of this show because, like, you're right. She was one of the best parts of the show, if not the best part of the show,
which was tough because it was so good.
Exactly, the show was great. So, and yeah, I'm all for like more of that stuff, like you said. Bring on that. Loki did it very strong. I know you haven't watched it yet, but when you do, you'll see what I'm talking about. So, yeah, man, bring more of that comic booky stuff in. It's fun, and you can definitely do it on these series where you have much more time to build out a character in a show and give a long form story in a series that you can't really do on film. So
I'm down. Let's do it. Let's go. Investors call. Feige, give it to me, baby. Let's go.
Okay, and we'll go from Agatha to Ant-Man Wasp situation going down.
It's going downtown, woogie boogie woogie.
Yes, so Evangeline Lilly is doing this movie. I think it's a movie or show. Yes, it's a movie called South of Heaven, and it's being directed by Jason Sudeikis. And they were talking about it in THR, and he asked her specifically about the Ant-Man, for the new script for Ant-Man 3, where she had like this kind of eureka moment. But she talks about hope and playing hope, and this is what she says. Hope is an odd enigma for me, but the truth is that I find it harder to know and understand hope than any other character I've ever played before. And I will say that after I read the script of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, I did have a kind of eureka moment. I said to Peyton, oh my God, I think I finally get her. So I'm hoping that when we come to wrap it, when I see the movie, I'm going to know the difference, which is kind of crazy since she's now played her in 3 films. Yeah,
3 films, and she's basically been the best thing about all 3.
She has.
Like her Wasp is absolutely I like her more than Ant-Man. Like, I think Hope is just way more interesting than Scott Lang in general. Like, Ant-Man 1's really one of my favorite MCU movies, and I really enjoyed Ant-Man and the Wasp. And, I thought Evangeline Lilly stole the show in the second one. I thought, in the first one, she's basically a co-lead, and she's just fantastic. And she kicks ass and everything. And I'm so surprised that it took her this long to get this character, because I'm like, you've been fooling me on screen for how long?
I know.
She's been absolutely amazing. So I was like, what? I was like, okay. And Evangeline Lilly's pretty out there, so
I know. Like, she goes on to say she's a good bluffer because everyone says how good she's been, and
amazing.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
She must be good at poker.
There's also a little thing she says that they're a little bit, like I said, a little over halfway through filming, so that's pretty cool to know that the movie is being shot and it's halfway done.
Well, they have more time now too.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a little while, but yeah, I mean, it was really crazy to read that when I did. So, but she's been. I just think about her career when she started in Lost, and she was in The Hobbit, and she's been in so many cool things. Yeah,
she kicks ass, man.
Yeah, I definitely want to see this movie coming out. So
yeah, I'm pumped. Like I said earlier, the Ant-Man movies are some of my favorite MCU films. They just are. Like, I think Ant-Man 1 is so underrated, and I think, Ant-Man 2 gets a lot of heat. But I dig it.
I like the first one better than the second one. I like them both.
Oh yeah. But I think the second one's a good movie. I enjoy it. I think it's better than Captain Marvel.
We're not going there. I don't talk about that movie anymore. So.
Oh geez, I talk about Gotham. You can talk about Captain Marvel.
But you don't like Gotham. I like Captain Marvel.
You're right. I don't like Gotham, but I'll still talk about it.
So I don't know. But yeah, so guys, look for that coming out again. It's a movie called South of Heaven and the Odd Enigma, and it was written by Jason Sudeikis. He's in it with her. So guys, check that out. If you want to read the article, it's on THR. Go check it out over there. And as Pete always says, you can find it all on our pages wherever we are. So you can always check us out over there. So Pete did bring something up a little while ago about delays. And we just got word yesterday that Disney is delaying Doctor Strange 2, Thor 4, Black Panther, and Indiana Jones 5. So they moved Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness from March 25th to May 6th. Thor Love and Thunder from May 6th to July 8th. Black Panther Wakanda Forever from July 8th to November 11th. And with the Black Panther sequel jumping to November, The Marvels has been postponed till early 2023, and Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania was bumped from February to July 28th, 2023. So as soon as we heard the first one that they mentioned, they're not stupid. What we heard about this was Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and immediately everyone assumed it was because of the Batman.
No, it is because of the Batman. He's back. He's wearing black. He's bad. He's mad. He's driving that train right through the MCU, and he's separating everything, and he cannot be stopped. Just like in the trailer, bullets can't stop him, and neither can Kevin Feige. The Batman is coming, and it just pushed Disney back. They're scared. They're running. They're hiding. We're back, baby. We're on top.
Okay, Pete just became Hulk Hogan apparently, and did his
brother
breakdown.
My shirt open, and I'm telling you, brother, that the Batman is coming, and there's no comic book movie on the planet, brother, that's gonna stop him from kicking ass and taking names at the box office.
You kind of sounded like Macho Man there too a little bit.
Snap into a Batman, oh yeah.
Kind of like mix both of them, but that was very well done. I don't think it had anything to do with the Batman. I just think that they want to space things out a little more. But you know what? It did bring up a pretty cool conversation point yesterday for me with some people about the reshuffling and what it means. I mean, let's be honest. Marvel could pretty much put out nothing and it would make money.
They can survive on Disney Plus alone at this point.
Yeah, they're just I don't think they're threatened.
Been out for like a year.
I know. I don't think they're threatened by anyone. I mean, we're getting early reviews now from the Eternals, and it's been pretty strong from what I've read from them so far. So the funny thing, the one that was kind of, I raised my eyebrow a little bit, was the Indiana Jones, because I'm like, Harrison Ford is going to be 80 years old. So like, what are we doing here? How far can you really push this back before it becomes really ridiculous? That
it's already ridiculous. You've had Indiana Jones go up against aliens. I think we're past that. But
I kind of don't remember that movie. I just
I don't mind it. I don't hate it. It's not the best. There's some good stuff, like him hanging out in the refrigerator is great. Just pure Indiana Jones fun. But yeah. Like I'm sure there's some actual strategic reason for something about this. I'm sure that, I don't know whether it's just to give the creatives more time to fulfill their vision or what.
Well, they're saying it's because he got his shoulder.
Just all the films in general. Like, I'm sure there's a reason for each and every one. Oh, and whatever it is, okay, they're still coming out, and. Sure, like that's what makes the MCU great. They announce something, it happens, and that's it. So
yeah, so it was kind of a weird. I remember asking everyone, okay, what's Marvel gonna do because of FanDome being this week? And I'm like, how are they gonna counter? And I thought it would be something positive, not something like this. But
He's like, I've got a new approach. Negativity, throw it out there. Let's see how the fan base responds, and then we'll make an even 450 mil.
Like, yeah, it was kind of a weird. I'm like, oh, okay, well, they got themselves in the news. But yeah, so guys, obviously it's still coming. If you want to see, there are a bunch of other ones. There's even some that are untitled that they remove from the schedule, but they're not really.
I love that untitled upcoming Marvel movie. Like, okay,
yeah,
thanks.
like I don't know, like what it is, whatever. But
it's like when you get the white airhead, you're like, mystery flavor. What is it?
Yeah. You know, now I'm wondering. I mean, I didn't think this, but I'm sure there are fans that are like, okay, what did they take off the slate? Like, what's not coming out? I don't know. None of that is in here, but
X-Men. That's it. They took X-Men off the slate.
Well,
what's the plan, Feige?
Well, they didn't tease X-Men, but they did tease Fantastic Four at the investors' call.
X-Men is the untitled Marvel movie.
So yeah. Well, I can't wait for that announcement. That's the one announcement I'm really looking forward to from them when they finally start doing X-Men movies. So. But that needs a little bit of a break. We just finished, like, Dark Phoenix was, 2 years ago now? Obviously before the pandemic, so...
it was, I mean, I feel like when I watched it, it wasn't horrible.
I don't think it was as bad as people say. Some of it is very, very bad, but I didn't think it was as bad as people are leading you to believe. So... It is
the train scene. Everyone always goes back to the train scene.
I love the train scene. The action in that is some of the best we've seen in the whole thing.
Hey, look, I appreciate the Fox X-Men movies. Some of them hit, some of them missed.
Yep.
They just plowed through and they did what they had to, and that's fine. And, we'll see what happens.
All right, so guys, don't worry. The movies are still coming if you thought they wouldn't, but they've just been moved back a little bit, and we should be used to that coming out of the pandemic. If you want to see the full rundown, guys, check out Variety.
We're coming out of the pandemic?
Well, the cases are dropping now, so
okay, all right.
That's a good sign. I don't know how else I'm supposed to look at that, but it's a good sign.
I don't either. Sometimes it feels like this thing's never ending.
Don't say that. Don't say. I don't want to hear that. Gotta think positive, Pete.
I just did. I just told you how great the Batman trailer was. It scared Marvel away.
Okay, moving right along to something near and dear to my heart from my childhood. Of course, we got the Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 1. When did we get it? God, what was it? August? July? Whatever.
Summer?
Yeah, it was over the summer. Well, Part 2... will be coming out.
Astros just tied it 2-2.
Okay. All right. Well, could you say that when I'm not speaking? Anyway.
Sorry. Just excited.
You think he was a fan of the Astros? He doesn't even like them.
It's like, who do you root for here?
I know. It's a tough one. It's a very tough series to be.
It's like they're both the devil.
To be a Yankee fan. I know. So bad. But anyway, as I was saying, Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 2, the all new episodes will be released on November 23rd, which is right in time for the Thanksgiving weekend, which is very smart on their part. Give them props for making that decision. The first part was very controversial, and I just read here in the article, which I should have seen, it was released on July 23rd. So if you haven't seen it yet, guys, go see Part 1 if you're interested. I know there has been rumors that there's a podcast called From Here to Eternia coming out around this.
Who's hosting that?
On this show that someone you guys know very well might be hosting that show.
Ryan Powers?
Shout out to Ryan Powers. Awesome. But there might be someone else you know very well that's hosting that show. And it's
Dante Culpepper?
I promise you guys it's coming. We couldn't decide how to do it. If we were going to do, after the first one we do a show and then wait, or we do everything at once. Obviously, we decided we're going to do everything at once. We might do a couple lead-in shows as well to discuss Part 1 and then wait for Part 2 and come out, or the second half of the season.
When do you talk about the Dolph movie?
So, we talked about that, didn't we, Pete? Didn't you and I talk about that a little bit? I don't know.
I talk more about Masters of the Universe because of you than I have in the last 35 years of my life.
So I think we spoke about it a little bit on the show. If you guys want to talk about that show, hit me up. That movie, sorry. Hit me up. I will definitely talk about it. I'm mixed on it because when I was a kid, you couldn't tell me nothing about it. Like I would have fought you that it was the greatest movie ever. time has changed my feelings, but it's still something that ties me to my childhood, and it's something that very nostalgic for me. But yeah, so we have a date. The second half of the season, November 23rd. Pete, did you watch the first half yet?
No, I haven't. Dude, let me tell you something, being a fanboy these days, there's just too much stuff to keep up with.
I know.
So it's like when you hear people complain about things, you're like, what are you complaining about? I haven't even caught up on Why the Last Man, and the show got canceled already. And I'm like, well,
seriously,
this is so defeating. Yeah. So I have to, I've got to catch up on it because I want to listen to the show and I want to hear what you guys have to say. But no, I haven't. But I'm definitely interested. And one thing I love when it's outside of my realm is angry fanboys. So like when I hear this new movie is like, this is woke and this is ridiculous and outrage, I'm like, oh, I'm so here. Like I can't wait. Like when Star Wars fans fight, I'm like the Michael Jackson gif. I'm just eating popcorn. I'm like,
yo,
I was like, I like Last Jedi. I like the movie before that, and I love Rogue One. I was just like, I got butter and popcorn by the handfuls, just eating it, watching all these people argue, and I'm like, this is great.
Seriously, Star Wars fandom is the best and the worst at the same time. It is totally just crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man. And this is before social media. Like I remember before we had these platforms, this stuff being so controversial, and at the time I was younger, so I got involved. Looking back now,
how did you get the outrage and stuff like back in the day? Like you're old school fanboy, so like
yes,
there's no Twitter and stuff. Like, what do you are you reading like Starlog and like letters to the editor? Like how are you getting the news that these neckbeards are miserable in their basements?
Well, mostly, I mean, most of it is magazines that you get the information from, right? So it was like Entertainment Weekly, There's a Star Wars magazine, and you had all this information, but it was at that point it was then just word of mouth. So like if you are a Star Wars fan, obviously you know other Star Wars fans, and then they would talk, and then they would have their segment of Star Wars fans, and then they would talk, and then all the information just kind of gets funneled back, and you get caught up in this like web of just anger about stuff that's really not that important.
Because your Star Wars fandom even predates the internet. Like, it's like you go way back.
Yeah.
Man, look at my life.
The movie came out 6 months after I was born. So it's literally been a part of my life forever. And of course, when you're real little, like you don't get involved in that stuff. But when you start to get aware in your teens and you realize that, hey, not everyone just loves this stuff. There's other toxic crap that surrounds it that you really don't want to be a part of.
Oh man, I'll never forget when I found out there were people who hated like the Nolan movies because of realism, and it was just I was like, what? I was like, you don't like them, but they're good. Like, what do you like? Realism and Nolan, and it was like a whole thing. And I was like, what is going on with you people?
Yeah, people. I mean, obviously, like what you like, people, and don't like what you don't like. I'm not going to tell you how to fan. Like, you be a fan how you want to be a fan.
I don't like the Red Sox. I'm sorry, I don't like them at all.
I don't either.
Jealous and miserable.
I am as well. I do not like them. I hate that they're playing. I can't even watch baseball with them in it right now because it just irks me and I don't even care.
I like self-torture. Screw me.
But yeah, that stuff was crazy to me when all that stuff came out about the Nolan films. So as we know, fandom is just nuts. And I don't know how we got here to this point. I totally forgot what led us down this road.
This is why everyone calls us ridiculous. And
I know.
This is why we're all stereotyped as like basement dwelling bottom feeders.
This is why everyone loves us, though, Pete, me and you. And then
they love our passion.
They love our show. That's what.
And the fact that I can spray my balls throughout the show and you have no idea.
Oh yes, once again, folks. Yes.
Don't forget 20% off manscaped.com, promo code Gotham, free shipping, and you could spray your balls in front of people and they won't even know about it.
As Pete was so politely and weirdly saying, get 20% off and free shipping with the code Gotham at manscaped.com. Yes, that's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code Gotham. It will unlock your confidence, and they always have the right tools for the job. So guys, definitely, again, 20% off. Treat your balls the way you'd want them to be treated. So there we go.
Treat your balls like your comic books with respect.
Yes. Speaking of respect, I'm only totally kidding. This is not a segue. We're getting more Chucky, Pete. We are getting more. Apparently, we cannot get enough Chucky.
Well, how fitting considering it's October and it's basically Fright Fest, you know?
Yes.
Scare-a-thon, everybody.
Yes.
Halloween's more than Michael Myers. Other people kill people too.
Yes. And Chucky is actually a play on the My Buddy toy.
I have him, my buddy. He's in my basement.
Yes, Chucky was actually a play on that toy. So I just think that's a funny little tidbit that's where it came from. But anyway,
yeah.
They're going to be actually it started already on October 12th.
Yep. They're about an episode in.
Yeah, the Child's Play franchise is getting rebooted on the Sci-Fi and USA.
No, it's not a reboot.
Oh.
It's a sequel.
Okay.
I just don't know what it's a sequel to. It's a sequel to the way they say it is. It's a sequel to the original Chucky movie. So I'm wondering, like, Child's Play. So I'm assuming this takes place sometime after Child's Play 2. I don't know, because doesn't he gets all disfigured in Child's Play 2, doesn't he? I forget which actually movie he gets shot in the blender or whatever it is. I think maybe when Andy's in army camp.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So I'm not sure because, you know, he looks like an undamaged good guy doll, but it's apparently maybe they do the Halloween route and they just sequel it to the first movie. I don't know, but that's what it is. What channel is it streaming on?
Sci-Fi and USA Network.
Okay, so it's over there. Check that out, and which is interesting because they just actually rebooted Chucky last time with a movie, and he was voiced by Mark Hamill. Reno hates it. I still haven't seen it yet, but Reno, like most things, despises it.
Well,
because it's not directed by Denny, so understood. It's understood. Mr. Zodiac doesn't like it, but you know. I will give him the benefit. It's probably not great, you know. So, but I have to check out this Mark Hamill Chucky movie. But I'm interested to see where the series goes. I think Chucky's such an interesting thing. You know, it takes slashers into a real more kind of ghostly ghoul level, you know. And I like ghost stories, and I kind of feel like Chucky's kind of a combination of that and witchcraft and all that stuff. So it's just interesting to me.
Well, in horror, children are always creepy in horror movies. And now you have a doll. So you have a children's toy that is creepy. Mm-hmm. So, like, it's just another level.
I love Annabelle. Can we have a Chucky versus Annabelle movie?
Oh,
like,
God.
You realize how ridiculous that would be?
Only if Jennifer Tilly's in this one, too. She needs to be in it.
I actually don't like Jennifer Tilly. I don't like those movies, Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, stuff like that.
I don't care. She needs to be in it.
It's funny because Annabelle really doesn't move, and Chucky is basically like a toddler.
I know.
You know? I would love it. I would love to see what Chucky would do.
But speaking,
the Warrens versus Chucky, that would be fun.
That would be interesting. That'd be kind of be like that's for nowadays. That might be like Freddy versus Jason level.
I think so.
I think
so.
That might be that. But it's funny you bring that up. And I posted pictures of this, guys, on the SOG group and the SOG page. This past Friday, I actually went to a monsters house here on Long Island. They have this house where they have all the monsters from all of the films, starting with The Wizard of Oz and The Wicked Witch of the West. That Swamp Thing.
There we go.
I posted all the pictures. They had the original monsters. They had no, they didn't have Grundy. That was something I was actually thinking to myself, like, wow, they could probably have Grundy in here, but they didn't have him. But they have all the original monsters, so Dracula, Wolfman.
Love it.
And then on the second floor, they have all the slashers. So obviously Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Pennywise, all of the other people, amongst others. They had the priest, and of course, I always forget her name, the little girl from Exorcist. What was her name in the movie? I know Linda Blair played her, so I'll just say Linda Blair because she played her. But she's in it. She's there. It's just a really, really cool. They even had like an area for Hocus Pocus with the three witches. Oh,
Laura would be so happy.
Yeah, so they had that too. It was just a really, really cool thing to go and see. So if you live on Long Island, it's in Mineola. It was $25. They have it going through Halloween. I think
so. That's basically Mr. Rooney and Andrew. Eric's talking to you directly.
Yes, you two guys. I know. I think Tim said he's a big horror fan, so Tim might enjoy it.
I'm not surprised. Tim loves movies in general. I can't imagine him disliking anything.
So if you guys definitely go check that out. It was very, very cool to do. It was something, the first Halloween thing I really did this season, and it was just great. I haven't seen Halloween Kills yet. Pete, have you?
I haven't, but we got to get on that because we're supposed to do our Halloween Spooktacular with Mr. Lauer, which we're just going to announce here.
Yes,
that'll probably be our next show.
Yes, so guys, Pete just said, our next show. Last year we did a Halloween show with Pete, I, and Chris Rimmer. This year we will be doing Pete, I, and Ryan Lauer from the Batman Book Club. So you guys will be getting another. And what we're going to be discussing are the three Halloween movies,
the new continuity.
yes, and we're gonna obviously Halloween Kills, Halloween 2018, and then the original film. So we will be discussing those, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. I always like doing these shows.
There's nothing I love more than talking about Ben Tramer.
So we definitely want to do. We're gonna do that for you guys, and we hope you enjoy it like you did last year because it was a great show. And thanks, Chris. We did ask Chris again, but he has something else he has to do, so he was not able to join us. So, but Chris, again, if you ever want to come on, you are more than welcome to come on with us. We had a great time doing that. So to end the show, we're going to talk about a couple of trailers.
Oh, baby, here we
go. We got, and then we'll talk really quickly about Venom.
Oh, I got Eric to see
because
Venom.
I finally got to see it.
It was great.
So we'll talk about that in a minute. So we got two trailers. The first one I'll talk about is the new Resident Evil movie that's coming out.
Yeah.
I have to say, it was better than I thought it would be.
Hell yeah, it was.
Right? Robbie Amell's in it. Stephen Amell's little brother, Robbie Amell, is one of the leads in the film.
That's who that was. I thought he looked interesting. It's Firestorm.
Yeah, exactly. It's Firestorm. So he was in it. The girl, I'm forgetting her name, which sucks because I literally just watched it. Mm-hmm. So I'm forgetting her name. But I'm trying to. What time period is this? Is it the beginning again for?
It's the beginning.
Right?
I believe it's a reboot, and I think this will be way more faithful to the comic books,
to the video games,
than the Paul W. S. Anderson, something like that,
and Mila Jovovich.
I think it'll be way more. It just looks kind of more grounded, and James Wan's involved in it, so that's really interesting. I feel like I love when Wan's involved in anything. I believe it says James Wan. That's what it says. I'm looking it up. I'm trying to find a release date.
I think you're right.
So it comes out November 24th, 2021. So it's coming up. It's around the corner. Development took place. Wan's not involved in it. Okay. But it comes out this November. So I'm pumped. It just looks cool. Some of the monsters look like they need a little bit more rendering and stuff, but I was like, all right, whatever. That'll happen when it does. And I'm just really, really pumped. You know who's in it? Do you know who's in it? Bullock's in it.
Yes, Donald Logue's in it. Yes.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, shoot, Bullock. Great. Maybe I'll like this one. I noticed that he has he has that wonderful Curtains haircut, and it's like it stands out. No one has that haircut anymore. I know. So, yeah. Again, just look really faithful. Just great zombie stuff. Yes. Bloody, gory, lots of gunfire. It looks dark, and it looks like just a solid story about Umbrella covering things up. They mentioned Chernobyl in the trailer, which kind of, gives everyone an idea of what they're doing and stuff. So, I'm just excited. I like them. I like Resident Evil movies.
Yeah, I was trying watching the trailer. I mean, obviously I know the names from the game. I used to play these games all the time. So I heard Claire's name.
Yeah.
Did they mention Wesker? I don't remember. I think they do actually. But no, he is. Wesker's in it. I know that.
Leon S. Kennedy's in it, so
yeah. So I mean, every guy, the names you're familiar with from video games are all here, which wasn't always the same in the other movies.
They fit them around Alice and what she was doing,
right?
And while the characters looked exactly like they did in the video game, the movies weren't great, but it was they're cheap zombie movies.
Yes. So the other trailer that I think we're both really hyped about that we got to see was the trailer for the new Scream film.
Yeah.
Man, that just brought back so many So many memories, man. The nostalgia factor is there.
Going back to Stu's house, how that house, the few times I saw it, doesn't look like it changed at all.
I know.
I just everything. I liked when Ghostface said it was an honor, which I was like, all right. So what girl did Billy and Stu knock up at this party who wants revenge?
Right.
All these years later, because we've gotten the half brother, we've gotten the adopted son. There's always a legacy angle, right? Billy's mom's involved.
Who was Emma Roberts' character? Was she the cousin?
She was the cousin. So there's always some sort of tie back to Sydney and family and whatnot. And, I'm looking forward to it. David Arquette. Him.
Courtney Cox.
Courtney is probably the best I've seen Courtney Cox look since Scream 3.
She didn't look as Botoxed, I guess is the way I can put it.
Yeah.
She looked a little more natural in this trailer.
Nev is always as beautiful.
Yeah, she's aged great. She really has.
One of my favorite Scream queens. I can't wait. I'm really pumped for it. I can't wait for the twists and turns. I can't wait to see what they make fun of this time around. Nothing ever really tops the first Scream. Scream 4 is my second favorite. I'm one of the few people who doesn't like Scream 2 at all. I hate Scream 2. So I actually like Scream 3 more. So I'm excited to see where this falls in my rankings. So just again, who doesn't love a good Scream movie? Yeah,
the trailer does have everything you would want it to have to appeal to new viewers and to get us back.
Everything they did with the lock and the cell phone, modernizing it, really brilliant. I appreciate that, and that's kind of what Scream's all about. It's so self-aware, kind of like Venom, which we'll get to. It pokes fun at itself and the genre, and it makes sense at the same time. So it's just it's brilliant. I can't wait, and I'm pumped. Scream is just one of those amazing things, and I hope Wes Craven's looking down and he just enjoys it.
Yeah, man, it really is. It really was. I was worried about when they said they were doing this film. I really wasn't. I wasn't like, okay, let's do it. I was kind of like, all right, I'm kind of wait and see. But this trailer really did grab me. So it did its job for me, at least. And I'm really looking forward to this. It comes out January 14th next year. That hasn't been pushed back yet as far as we know. So I'm really looking forward to it. And
I'm just excited to, like I said, after the fourth one, I'm like, okay, well, how are they doing it? Because they involved in live streams and all that stuff. And it was really, I thought it was really well done. So I'm curious to see what happens here. That's what's really got me going.
I know. And guys, if you're fans of The Boys, Jack Quaid is in this. He figures prominently in the trailer as well. So
I still think the biggest mistake Scream's ever done is kill Jamie Kennedy. I can't tell you, I feel like not having him in any of the, it's such a bummer. It just is.
Yeah, he was kind of like the Sage, right? The horror movie Sage.
I know he pops up in 3 at some point, I think, on a videotape or something.
Yes, his sister brings the video. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not the same. It just, I know you go into it and you don't worry about a sequel and you put out the best movie you can. And I just, I think that's probably why I hate Scream 2 so much. Just
because they killed him.
Yeah, I think that's probably why.
Yeah, but again, if you're fans of the original franchise, this trailer's for you. And if you're looking for something new to watch, to our young listeners, take our word for it. You want to see this because I honestly think it's going to be very faithful to the original film. So I'm very, very looking forward to this. Okay, moving along to the movie that I haven't been too supportive of from the beginning. I didn't like the first one. Of course, I'm talking about Venom. I didn't like the first one. I thought it was a terrible movie. And it didn't entertain me, the first one, really. I wasn't that caught up in it. But Venom 2 was still a bad movie, but it was a lot of fun. I had a really good time watching this movie, and I was not expecting that at all. So,
wow, I'm surprised. Usually you hate fun.
I don't hate fun. But anyway.
Sometimes you can be a little bit of a stick in the mud.
Hey, I'm just honest. I'm honest about my feelings on these things. I'm sorry if that makes people,
old man.
Sorry if that makes people mad, but I'm just honest about my feelings about these things. But no, I really did have a good time watching this. The symbiote is great. Venom, the actual character,
them,
yeah. And Tom Hardy's excellent playing off of him. It's a very, very well done dichotomy between the two. But the substance of it is kind of lacking. I didn't think Carnage was done that well. I thought it was way too over the top for the character. I know that's what the movie is.
Really? I feel like the character is over the top. Okay.
No, I'm saying I know that's what the movie is as a whole. It's very over the top, in your face, splatter in your face.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Woody Harrelson was fine. I just didn't love the story that they told.
Are we going into spoilers on this?
I guess we can. It's been out for a while now. So
I didn't like this as much as the first one. I thought the first movie was a little bit more fun. I think there's like a solid 30 minutes missing from this movie. Okay. Like there's a point in time where like why is and this is I enjoyed it. I liked it. But it's like, why is Cletus Cassidy so obsessed with Tom Hardy? Like, why does he want to be his friend? Like, why does he say it? Like, like, why does he need Eddie Brock to accept him? Like, because the movie's only like an hour and a half. So like, clearly there's a half hour missing from this film. And it's just weird. I thought Naomi Harris was just wasted. I didn't like anything she did. I thought she was so over the top. Yeah. Especially when she came back into the mix. But Hardy as Brock and Venom was great. I thought Woody Harrelson was great. Michelle Williams was fine in the little bit she was in it. But yeah, it just, I don't like it as much as the first one, which is kind of a bummer because, it's Venom versus Carnage. But that post-credit scene really opens things up for the possibility for a lot to come. And I actually, when it's, and I'm sitting in the theater and I'm watching this happen and I'm hearing Venom talk to Brock about like, we've seen things in other universes, in other worlds. So like, I'm literally waiting for like, what's his name? Topher Grace and like Toby to like collide in like some sort of flashback, because they mentioned universes and other things, and it was Holland, and he licks the screen, and I was like, okay, but but it's like, I don't know, it almost feels like they're really forcing it. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to see it. But we already knew these two universes were connected because we saw Keen in the Morbius trailer. So this shouldn't come as a shock to anyone. Yep. But like I said, I'll check it out. Everyone knows I love Spider-Man. I love Todd McFarlane. So therefore, Venom is the project, is the love child of both. Yeah. I will check it out and I'll judge that for what it is. But, I'll enjoy it. I'll catch it out. And also, I didn't like the fact that they killed Cletus. I want to see Cletus take on the two of them, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe he's not dead. I don't know. Maybe the symbiote made his head disappear. I have no idea. It's a comic book movie. Anything's possible.
You're right. Anything's possible.
Who the hell knows? Like, let's be brutally honest.
That's true. That is very true. Did they show the trailer for Morbius before you saw?
No,
because they did in my theater. Yeah.
Every time where'd you go see it? I saw it at a Regal.
I saw it at AMC, so that's probably why.
We see different trailers all the time because we go to different theaters.
Yeah, but I thought it was interesting that I saw that and then saw this because I actually think Morbius is going to be very good. I know people are mixed on it. I think it's going to be very good. But
I don't know. I can't wait to see it, though.
Keaton's in there, and then you get Venom, and then you get the post-credit scene. Like, it was a very cool thing for me to watch all of these things just kind of roll together.
Well, it's interesting because I'm like, so that post-credit scene clearly happens after No Way Home. Yeah. Right? Like, because now I'm putting like fanboy timelines. So like, okay. And I'm just trying to like piece it together because
it could be, or it could be something that happens during the end of Far From Home. Okay. Right. So it could be that's live because you see them switch universes.
It happens.
Yes. Like you see it happen right there. So I thought was cool. I also thought the end was cool when they're sitting on the beach looking at that. Was kind of cool.
Well, that's a nod because at some point, like Spider-Man leaves them both on an island where they can't hurt him. There were a lot of nods that comic books passed about Venom in this movie, which I appreciated as a reader.
Yeah, so it was that all that stuff was cool. Again, I wasn't expecting to not love it, but to like this movie, and I did. And
And you know what? Shout out to Sony for just sticking it to Feige and Marvel. Feige's been riding high for like 20 years now. Like, go in there, put a wrench in the gears, leave your mark. Like, okay, do it. Like, I'm just happy someone has the balls to stick up to the MCU.
If you don't think that was discussed beforehand, you're crazy.
It was, and you know what he said? I don't like it. I don't like that you're doing this, but I'm only renting out the character from you because if Marvel went broke in 1996 and sold the rights, so therefore I have no power. You're in control. I just make you money. So there you go.
Yeah.
Sony's been in control the whole time.
Well, of course they have. They're the distributor of the film. Of course they are.
And they've already pulled out of the deal once. They gave them No Way Home. They're waiting to pull out of the deal again. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. They're riding so high right now. Venom's making money off 2 movies. They just made a successful Spider-Man movie, being animated. They just did it. They're confident in Morbius. They are dying to pull Spider-Man out of the MCU. They're dying to.
Even if they do,
they don't want to split the pot. They want it all to themselves. It's all about money. That's all that matters.
Even if they do, he'll be back because...
I'm sure he'll be back. They'll make 4 or 5 movies. They'll have trouble. They'll have to have Feige restarted again because God knows he's got the magic touch. Like, we know what's going to happen.
So, but no, I do think it's. I hope whatever happens, the relationship stays strong, because it's only better in the long run if that happens. It's better for the character. It's better for us. It's just better because you can, like you said, you can do different things with Spider-Man when he's in an MCU film and when he's in a Sony film. So you'll be able to do those different things. And I think that's great. That's one thing I've loved about this partnership from the beginning.
If this whole Keaton thing and the Flash works out and this Matt Reeves, the Batman thing works out, there's no way that Sony's not going to try to do something similar, right? They've got legacy characters in Spider-Man. They could do something like that. We've talked about it. There's been rumors about
Sinister
it.
Six is going to happen. They've been talking about this thing forever. So,
well, what do you think? I mean, how many? You've got Mysterio. You've got the Vulture. You've got Doc Ock. You're going to bring back a Goblin. You've got a Scorpion somewhere without a suit.
Yeah,
right.
He was teased. Yeah.
I don't know. Like Carnage isn't probably dead.
Yeah, I mean,
there's other characters you can bring back. There's a Rhino. That's it. We got 7. Let's go.
You're right. No, and they were supposed to do that with Garfield in the previous iteration. So I'm pretty sure that's still on the plate for them, and they want that to happen. So that's
everyone thinks Garfield's coming back for at least 15 seconds. Right?
I know. As much as he tries to deny it, but not really deny it, but kind of deny it at the same time.
I thought people are like, I want more interviews at Fandom. Like, what do you care? They just give you the business anyway.
I know.
Like, it doesn't matter what they say.
I know.
Like, every once in a while, someone like Pattinson says he reads a bunch of comic books and we get all excited. But they still give you the same just, Hollywood PR spiel.
Seriously. But, man, look at us talking about all this stuff with Spider-Man and all the fandom stuff. Again, what a great time to be a comic book fan and a comic book movie fan and a fan of these characters. It's just been awesome. It's been an awesome, awesome time. And
I mean, it's crazy that Venom is the thing that opens up the multiverse, really. Like, when you think about it, it's really the first thing that teases, because it just by timeline, and it comes out first. So like I'm excited. It would be cool if Venom popped up in a No Way Home post credit scene.
I'm wondering what they're going to show.
What if he's in the movie in general? That would be cool too. Yeah, we keep speculating about villains past, but like, what about this version of Venom popping up in the movie somewhere? I have no idea.
Oh, you see him in
I'll take Topher Grace. I don't care. Like, just bring these guys back. Like, give me something.
You see them in Jameson's office. That would be cool. That would be cool.
This movie, there's so much fan theory and speculation. Cool. Like, I can't help but give into it myself. Like, I want to see this stuff. But if I don't see it, it's fine. I'll take what they give me. I'm not going to be upset when I don't get it. But I agree. I like speculation.
No, I agree. I think, like I said, it's just a really fun time to be a fan of these movies and these characters because,
because when it's gone, man, it's gone. We're going at some point it'll go the way of the Western, and every once in a while you get like a Magnificent Six, that recently came out. No, but it's the truth.
You're right.
At some point we'll go back to another. Every 6 years you get one comic book movie. And, it's fine because we've got this whole decade of catalog to just sit back and enjoy. So
right. I mean, the cool thing is there's decades worth of material that they pull from, right? So you would think there's plenty of stories left still to be told. But
I mean, Batman's been around for 80 years. They're not going to stop making movies about him.
No, especially not Batman. They'll be making movies about Batman for a while.
I think Batman and Spider-Man are Teflon.
Pretty much.
Superman, as strong as he is.
That's the crazy part. But I think it's the relatability thing with him. I don't know why. He's just not as relatable as the other characters. So even though most kids, I would say, start with liking Superman. I know I did when I was very little. Because, I mean, that's the cool thing. He flies, right? When you're a kid, everyone wants to fly. So
everybody except Melissa Benoist.
I know. Yeah. See, we're going full circle. Full circle. We're all the way back to the beginning. All right, guys. Man, we chopped up a lot in this hour and 20 minutes. So, Pete.
We did. And Houston just took the lead in the 9th. This is wonderful.
See?
Great way to end the show.
Yes, great way to end the show.
Hopefully they can win it.
All right, Pete. So now that you have a little bit happier since Houston took the lead, go ahead and tell everyone.
You can follow me on social media. It's Twitter, Instagram, and Zack Snyder's Favorite Bureau at Pete Illustrated. Also, I'm on Letterboxd. You can follow this show, the show you're listening to right now, Straight Outta Gotham, that I co-host with this man, the champion of Long Island, Eric Holzman, at straight_O_G on both Instagram and Twitter, Facebook group and page. Check those out. Like them both. At Team Yellow Oval. We're excited about The Flash. We're excited about Keane. The Oval's back. First time since 95. Couldn't be happier. Love the teaser, and we're just excited to see more. Follow podcast number 2, the Italian Spider-Man Coalition podcast that I co-host with Sausage and Meatball. That's Nick and Nico Caruso at Italians for Spidey. We have our own RSS feed. We're on Apple iTunes. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on all the good platforms. Check us out, the Italian Spider-Man Coalition podcast. We got another episode coming up this month. We have that. And Batman on Film, I've got reviews of Eric's favorite TV show, Batwoman. Detective Comics, I've got tour reviews on Batman on Film YouTube, as well as interviews with legends such as Michael Uslan and Tara Strong. I think that's it. Make sure you rate and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts so you can possibly win our Joker action figure. What better way to celebrate the month of ghouls than with the Joker himself?
Yes, 12 days, guys. 12 days left for that contest. So, get over a rate review. You may want to rate and review this show when it's up. Go ahead.
Attend your Mark Hughes. Write me a review.
Okay, guys, as you know, you can find me on Twitter at Finally33, spell Finale33, same on Instagram. You guys check out my reviews of Titans on BatmanOnFilm.com. Go over there, read them. I write them, so I would really like if people would read them and leave me some comments on what you think of the season.
Inspire Eric to review Doom Patrol.
This season, especially this season for Titans, is arguably the best one of the 3 years. So
damn right.
Definitely, guys, go read my reviews and fight with me on it. That's fine. If you don't agree, I'm open to the discussion. So definitely. I
want to see Eric argue with people other than Nico and Zeddy on Twitter. Make it happen. That's your job. As our audience, that's your job.
Yes. Don't forget, guys, check out our latest show that we just did this past week, recapping DC FanDome at the Iceberg Lounge. Again, like I said at the beginning of the show, Bill Jet Ramey from Batman on Film, his son Micah from Colin A Entertainment. You have Ryan Lauer from the Batman Book Club and Ryan Haas from Everywhere. He's just a citizen of the world, and we love him. So that's Ryan Haas is all over the place. And we had a great time talking about it, as Pete and I discussed very shortly on this episode, but the more in-depth stuff was on that show. So check that out. I will also, again, like I said, I will be pulling it and making an audio file of it for you guys to listen to as a podcast as well. Because I like to do that for you guys. I like to, give you the content as every way I can. So check that out there. I think that's it. I'm trying to think if we have anything else to talk about.
Manscaped.com, 20% off, free shipping, promo code Gotham. That's all you need to know, right?
Yes, of course, guys. As Pete just said, we still have our Manscaped promotion for you guys. Shout out to Manscaped, of course, for sponsoring us. It's been a pretty cool partnership so far. So treat your balls, like I said, the way you would want to be treated yourself. Because, hey, they're kind of important. They are kind of important to us men. So definitely do that. All right. I think that's it. So for Pete Vera, I am Eric Holzman. You are listening to Straight Outta Gotham, and we will see you next time.
Booyah!